Good afternoon, podcast listeners. My name is Kat Johnson with Expedia Cruises OVC, and I'm so excited to welcome Yaritza from Carnival Cruise Line with me today. Hi, thank you for being with us.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Very excited to talk to you today. It's been a little while since we've had Carnival on, and we all know that Carnival is the fun ship, the place to be for families. And in the time since we last talked, you guys have amped it up a whole other level. I'm so excited to talk about all the great things going on. But for anybody who might not have heard of Carnival Cruise Lines, do you want to give us a little history and tell us where you've been, and then we'll look at where you're going?
Absolutely. So Carnival's been around for over 50 years, right? I kind of like to say are like the beginning of the cruise industry and,
Yeah.
everything that's happened. We're actually America's cruise line, so I'm happy to say that. And yes, we are completely evolving. We have a lot of ships, over 26 in the fleet, and we're growing. So we're super excited and looking into the future. We are always and have been, a family-based cruise line, and we're excited about what's coming. We have a lot to, offer.
Absolutely. And I think one of the biggest things that Carnival has done recently for families and cruisers is your private island. And that opened recently, I believe, in the summer of last year.
Yes, so we opened July actually of 2025. It is a brand new island. It is the largest lagoon at sea in the all of the ports that we have available. It has over five portals. It is going to be pretty much on almost every single itinerary that we have going out on all of our ships for the most part, outside of the West Coast and the international cruises that we have going out. But yes, so we are touching base on Celebration Key. What you see here is our welcome portal. This is what you see when you're walking in from the walkway, when you're coming from the ship. And then the great thing about it is if you want to walk toward the walkway, you can, or we always have trans as well. That'll take you, which is literally just a couple of minutes to get there. When you're walking into the welcome portal, you're going to see the huge castle, and that's where we have the water slides that actually come into the lagoon. The water slides do run into the kids and family area. So if you see here, Starfish Lagoon is going to be on the right hand side, and that's where the water slides are going to enter. So this whole section here is going to be the more family oriented side. All of the lounge chairs, all of the umbrellas, everything there is accessible to you guys, and it is free of charges, no additional charges for those umbrellas or chairs, which is amazing. When you first walk in onto that Starfish Lagoon side, you're going to see that there's a water park for the kids. And that's the first thing that you walk into. It is amazing because it does have a splash pad for your toddlers, and it walks into like a wading pool of only 2 feet. So it's super great for families with little ones. And then right in front of that is the lagoon. So essentially, if you wanted to be there with your younger kids and older kids, or even like other family, everything is super close and right there next to you. And then right outside, on the opposite side of the lagoon, you have access to the beach as well. The beach will also be separated with family side and adult side, so that's actually a plus. And then you also are going to have access to basketball, volleyball. You have pickleball. There's all of those amenities are going to be inclusive within the actual island. You also have the adult side, which is going to be accessible to the left hand side when you walk in, which is going to be also having some great amenities. That's where you're also going to see the largest swing bar, which runs across that you'll see when you walk in as well. And then a little deeper in, you'll have the Flamingo restaurant that has like the lounge chairs. And you also have some sunken water, inside the water, you have some sunken chairs that you have next to a bar, and then also a DJ. So if you wanted to be more in an active area, you have that. Or if you wanted to be more in a serene, more quiet area, you have that option as well. And then the other portion to that adult side is where you're going to have the Pearl Cove Beach Club. So say that three times fast. But that's actually going to be an area where you can purchase to enter. It's more like in a more elevated experience for those people looking for a little bit more privacy, more, like I said, elevated experience where they have restaurants and they have alcohol included. So that's going to be at a charge, but they do depend on, the type of package that you like to purchase. But that also will come with an infinity pool. It also comes with butler service. It's going to come with access to the beach as well, which is more private. So there's a lot of things there as well. And then even behind the welcome center. You're going to have a shopping area. So it has a little bit of everything for everybody, but it's huge and it has a lot of different options for people to choose from and over 30 venues for food. So it's amazing.
I think you glossed over even one of the very important parts about the island, which is that you actually pull right up to the island, correct? There's not a tender?
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
So this
so
is
that's
great
so
because, like I
convenient.
said, yeah, if you want to walk, it's literally just like less than 5 minute walk straight down. And like I said, we have trams as well. So that'll take you 2 to 3 minutes to get back up. And they rotate throughout the time that you're there.
So exciting and awesome, and great to know that it's available on the Caribbean and Bahamas and Bermuda itineraries. So anybody comes down to this area, they're going to get to experience that with their families, and that's totally a game changer. So fun! I cannot wait to go and experience it. It looks like a blast. My kids would be exhausted, which is what everybody hopes for. So that is amazing.
Absolutely.
I do want to also talk about some of the stuff that you're doing on board the ship. So Celebration Key is an awesome upgrade for Carnival for their Caribbean itineraries, but on board the ships, you have something that I wanted to make sure we absolutely talked about because it is incredible. And I don't know if anybody's ever done this before. Of course, I'm talking about the roller coaster.
Yeah, so the roller coaster is amazing. So essentially, when you're there, it is a charge of $15, but it does take you around twice. And it is amazing for photo ops. It does give you a thrill. Like I know some people look at it and they're like, oh, I'm not sure, but you should definitely try it. It is amongst one of the things that you're probably not going to be able to do on almost any other ship, right? Because it's the only roller coaster at sea. But it's definitely an experience you do not want to miss.
And it's not like low down, it's top deck roller coaster.
Yeah. Yeah, it's on the top deck and you get some awesome views. I mean, it does look, a little scary, but it's fun. Essentially, when you're on there, it's a blast. You definitely don't want to miss out on the
Awesome.
opportunity if you're on one of our Excel class ships.
Awesome. And that's a great segue because you not only do you have this great roller coaster on your Excel class ships, but you have reimagined a lot of the spaces for kids and teens and middle schoolers on board your Excel class ships. And you've got some pretty cool things going on now.
Yes, absolutely. So cool. It's so cool that you want to go to some of the Club O2s that we have on board and camps and things of that nature. So we actually are now starting at under 2 years old, right? So 6 months
Oh, that's
plus.
awesome.
So yeah, so for those families who have little ones that, might want to go and have dinner, we have something called Turtles, which is starting at 2 months up to 2 years old. And then of course we have our kids camp and they have them, spread out for the most part between like 2 to 5 or like 6 to 8, 9 to 11. And then, of course, we have a little bit of a higher age group, which is 12 to 14, which is our Circle C. And then we also have our Club O2. So this is between 15 and 17. So their lounge is amazing. They even have an outside partition with couches and they have foosball and they have a giant chess game. They also have beanbag toss. They have games. They have board games. They even have their own private lounge on the inside as well. So it's a super cool hangout space for them. So we have a
Awesome.
lot of things for kids.
And as we see in the picture here, if you're not dropping your kids off, if you're keeping them with you, there's some great water facilities for them. I mean, that looks like a blast.
It is amazing. So we have Waterworks, which is on the aft portion of the ship. There's a splash pad for the little ones. We have water slides for our older group of children and even adults because you will definitely find them there. But our whole Waterworks is almost on all of our ships, but a little bit more of the Excel class ships have a couple of more slides than we do on the others, but it's an amazing experience for everyone. And they even have like racing water slides. So it's so much fun, especially when you're trying to beat your family members.
And not only the adventure experiences, the kids clubs, but you guys have some amazing food opportunities. I know we all love food when we go cruising, and you've got some
Yes.
fun restaurants.
We do. So essentially, we have a lot of celebrity chef dining on our ship. I mean, everybody's already heard about like Guy Fieri's burgers and, Pig and Anchor and things like that. Emerald, which is amazing. If you have not had beignets on the ship, you definitely have to. They are chef's kiss. They're really good. So yeah, we have a lot of specialty dining on board, and for the most part, a lot of them are all inclusive. Like for example, even at Emerald's, you might buy beignets, but you get six on a platter, super hot and fresh, and it's $5. So it's essentially a great opportunity.
Absolutely. That is so fun. I know I chose this restaurant specifically to show because a lot of people know about your more casual options on board, but you have these beautiful experiences as well that to get a little bit more dressed up, maybe one night you could go to, not necessarily that you have to, but there's a great variety of restaurants on these Excel class ships, and that's so fun for families.
Yes, absolutely. And they even have some that have brunch. So even if you just wanted to go casual and have brunch at Emerald's, or if you wanted to go like to Ruby's or something of that nature, then you have options for other dining where you don't have to dress up, or you can if you want to, like the steakhouse and things of that nature. So there's definitely an array of options, and majority of them are included. So that's the greatest part.
Absolutely. And one of your newest ships, which is Excel class, is the Jubilee. So we have to talk about the Jubilee because she
Yes.
is so beautiful.
She is. She's amazing. I mean, the Jubilee, when you walk in into this grand atrium, which is the main focus on our ship right now, is 3 levels high. So you have, it's kind of like stadium seated so that you can see all of the shows and attractions that we have in the center. And then even some of the portions of the ship with the decor and the art that they have on board is just quite amazing. Just like you see here, the architecture and they have on the ship is more like a modern classic. So you have different options and photo ops and places to go. It's just an amazing setup. And the way that they have it is that you have different sections of the ship. So, for example, like on this one here, you have 3 levels where you can go to different dining. In the middle, where I was telling you where they have the atrium, is where we have our shows and, the Cirque du Soleil. And all of these things where you guys can kind of partake in all of the different activities that Carnival has to offer, whether it be family oriented or if you wanted to do something with your spouse. There's a little bit of something for everybody.
And speaking of family oriented, so we talked about the way that the ship is laid out with all of these different opportunities on board. But when you go back to your stateroom, Carnival has added some stateroom categories that are really helpful for families now, too.
Yes, absolutely. So what you're looking at is the family harbor. So our family harbor is amazing. You have your connecting cabins. You have different rooms where they have a little separation. So essentially, they'll have like a little area where you have like a separate TV, like on the side, more facing the screen, where it'll have an additional TV for the kids and maybe some bunk beds, and then the storage area where you have some more closet space, to put all your luggage. So essentially, the way the rooms are set up are a little bit more obviously, they're larger, but at the end of the day, they're more functional for families, whether it be an older child or a younger child. And they also, the family harbor is going to have like a lounge. So that lounge is accessible to anybody who has a family harbor room. And that's going to give you access to food and drinks and activities and, a little dining room and actually a movie room. So it's really accessible and super nice to have.
Oh, what a great addition. I love that. That sounds so fun. Now
Absolutely.
in do you want to go over some of the fun attractions that are on Jubilee as well? Because I think there's some really cool things for kids.
Yeah,
Or
no,
the kid in all of us.
The kid almost, yes, absolutely. So not only waterworks, but we have the sports square. We also have the ropes course, and we also have like mini golf. And like I was saying, there the whole sports square area with the ropes course is super cool as well. So if anybody wants to try that, it is amazing. So if you've ever done like zip lining or something like that, it's very similar. You get strapped up and you walk the ropes course, and you're also on a higher level. So getting that little adrenaline rush is super cool. It's really nice. But it's for everybody. Essentially, it's not just for children. But when I tell you, you'd probably see more adults on the ropes course and on the roller coaster than you do the kids. So it's really nice.
And where is Jubilee? Where, if somebody wanted to get on the Jubilee, where is she sailing?
So the Jubilee is sailing out from Galveston, and we go year round, and it's every single week. So whoever is looking to make some reservations on any of these Excel class ships, definitely get with your representative, your Expedia Cruise representative, because they sell out fast. So especially if you're looking for like a family harbor or if you're looking for specific areas, definitely want to book those in advance. There's still some space in the summertime, but definitely want to book those way ahead of time. So definitely book your cruises if you haven't yet.
Well, and I wanted to talk about you have a couple other ships that have been amazing for families, and I didn't want to let you go before
Yes.
we mentioned those. So we have these two Italian themed ships because who doesn't love pizza
Yes.
and gelato?
Absolutely. So these are our Italian themed ships and they are amazing. You'll even find a gondola on board where you can take photos. It is just all surrounded around Italy, right? So everything that we've done as far as like the decor is going to make you feel as if you were in Italy, right? So all of the restaurants, all of the meals, the gelato, like you mentioned, the
So
ice cream, the
beautiful.
pizzerias, like everything is just going to make you feel as if you're immersed in Italy. So it's really cool, both of those. So we have the Carnival Firenze, which is leaving out from Long Beach. So anybody who wants to go, to Baja, Mexico, we have that option there. Or the Venezia is going to be leaving. So it's seasonal right now, where during the summer it's going to be out of New York, and then in the winter it will be out of Port Canaveral. So you have a lot of options, basically.
Absolutely. Those sound awesome. And then, if that wasn't enough, you guys have a brand new ship that's coming out in 2027 as well.
We do, and I'm super excited about this because if family was not top of the list on all the other ships that we just talked about, this is definitely going to be the it for families. So our brand new festival, which is coming out next year, will be leaving out of Port Canaveral. And the new portion of the festival, two things. So number one, they're going to have over 20% more of connecting cabins for our families, which was
Awesome.
definitely a concern for a lot of people. And then the second and major thing is going to be Sensation Point. So, Sensation Point is going to be the aft portion of the ship where we have a three-level entertainment section for families. So, not only does it have over six water slides, it's also going to have like a jungle gym for the kids. It's going to have a splash park, and it's going to be kind of cascading down where the second level is going to be for like a restaurant and lounge where you can hang out. And then the last level below that will be the pool area. So it is going to be the highlight of the ship. In addition to that, it's going to be open in the evening. So that's the major point. So when you're done with dinner, and if you don't feel like you want to go to bed, you can hang out with your whole family and everybody can have an exclusive time out in the back part of the ship. So it's going to be amazing. Sensation Point is going to be exquisite, really good.
So I love that because after you eat all of that wonderful gelato and all those great desserts, and the kids are all hopped up on sugar and they don't want to go to sleep, they can go run some
Yes,
water slides and have fun in that whole back tiered area, which is a great opportunity for families. So when we
yes.
get more information about the festival, I know it's coming out in 2027, you'll have to come back and give us the full rundown of everything about the ship.
Absolutely. I think that would be amazing. So definitely get in your reservations because that one is selling like hotcakes. It's already on sale.
Awesome. Well, we're so thankful to Carnival for all the things that they do for families and all of the design that you guys have put into helping families have just the best vacation ever. So I know we talked about a lot of ships and a lot of destinations, but obviously people can get with their Expedia Cruises of OBC Travel Advisor, and they will let you know the ship that best works with your itinerary ideas and your family style, so that you can experience Carnival Cruise Lines. Thank you
Yes,
so much for being with me
absolutely.
today. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. This was amazing.
Awesome. Well, have a great day. Thanks for listening.
You as well. Take care.